Hello everyone, Dom here. What you just heard was a drum library that I started using in the past few months and I'm really impressed with it. And what you just heard was this library with zero processing, with an arrangement of guitars, bass, a really typical rock metal arrangement with big sounds, and I didn't add any EQ, any compression. It was straight out of the box. So this library is called Hertz drums, and I actually talked about it on my favorite drum libraries video. If you haven't checked it out, I suggest you check it out right here. Now, I started using Hertz drums back in August, I think, and I immediately fell in love because of the sound primarily. These drums cut through the mix, so I can throw them in a very busy mix, I can do sound replacement, I can use them as they are, and they will always cut through with minimal mixing. I want to say straight away, this video is kindly sponsored by Hertz drums, but they haven't watched the video before I released it, and they didn't have any input when it comes to the production of this video. Like I said, I've been using this for a while now, and I've tried them for a long time before I decided to make this video. I'm gonna jump straight into the sounds, and as you can see, this is the interface, and there are 3 packs for Hertz drums. There's the blue pack, the red pack, and the white pack. I'm going to play all of the presets very quickly. So the white pack comes with these presets, and I'm going to start with the metal preset. You know me, I always like to play my drums on the keyboard, so let's do it. So really powerful, modern, punchy, big sound. And if you're doing metal music, these drums are for you, straight up. Just check the credentials of the people that are behind these drums and you will know. I'm not going to go too deep into this, but the developers of these drums are responsible for producing and mixing some really iconic metal bands, so I would suggest you check it out. Let's try the next preset. This is called Modern. And that's why I think these drums are so good with layering. I'm going to show you in a second how I use them for layering in Cubase. Progressive metal. And they load pretty fast as well. Now, one great thing that exists in these drums that actually was added in an update is that you can go here to MIDI and you can load your MIDI mapping. And as you can see, there are quite a few presets, but I really like to use the general MIDI preset with CC on hi-hat. So that means that I can go here and where I have my hi-hat, I can use my mod wheel to open and close the hi-hat, which is really cool. I really like this feature. So let's play the rock preset. Now I'm going to go to the blue pack now. That sounds very different, and you can get this pack separately or you can get them as a bundle. But that's why I'm playing all the sounds, so that you can check which one is your favorite. And if you like all of them, then the bundle might make more sense. So let's try Art Rock. Britpop. I love this snare. Such a characteristic snare. And I have to say again, these are not mixed. I haven't added anything. These are vanilla straight out of the box. The next one is called Classic Metal. This is also from the blue pack. and it's very tight sound. Next one on the blue pack is the power metal one. And, you know, if we're talking about power metal, I have to play double kick, right? And I'm telling you, this is going to cut through the mix because it has this click. I mean, these guys know how to design sounds for metal, right? So this is going to cut through. It doesn't have a long tail. The kick drum is really, really tight. So I can play fast and it won't give you this long tails that kind of muddies the sound. That's what I'm saying. These are ready to go mixed drums. And there's nothing wrong with, you know, libraries that are, you know, unprocessed. I like them a lot for other things, but sometimes if you want this kind of sound, just to create the kick drum might take you a long time, okay? And then they have to be very, very precise and very homogeneous for this kind of genres, okay? They can't be all over the place. Now, let's play the progressive rock from the blue pack. And this is maybe my favorite preset for this pack. It's big, it's roomy, but the toms are really tight. Again, the toms have the right amount of release for modern productions, right? I'm not talking about jazz here, I'm talking about, you know, modern drums that hit you in the face for modern rock metal productions and also for replacement. I'm going to show you all this in a second. Now, let's go for the red pack, alternative rock. Gent. Really nice deep toms. On this one. Now I'm going to show you a preset that I created on this library, and this I call DOM Big Kits. I've been using this preset for drum replacement for 2 months now, so now let me show you how easily you can start creating your own drum kits, because these are presets, but there's a lot more in this library. So as you can see, this is my own preset. I can select my snare and I can say, okay, now I want to change the amount of room and reverb, and check how many sounds I can get like this. For me, this is very relevant because sometimes I use these kind of sounds even for productions that are like, let's say, synthwave productions or pop productions. And this kind of sound is a really important one. This reminds me a little bit of some snares that Muse used to have in their tracks. So you can go and blend the room and reverb very, very easily. The other thing that you can do is you can change the pitch of each element. You can change the mic, the direct sound, overheads, the sub, and the effects. But then if you want to start piecing together your own kit, you can go here to the library sampler tab. And this is what I like the most about this interface. It allows you to create your own drum kit really, really easily. It doesn't involve menu diving. It doesn't involve, drop down menus. It's very, very fast. So for example, if I go and select my kick drum, I can just start auditioning different kick drums. So I have left and right. Let's try left. And I can go here, listen to all the different kick drums. See how many? You can also see which pack each kick drum is contained in. So let's say I like this one because it's really nice and tight. It's from the blue pack. I can just right click and it's there. So you can really create a drum kit in a few seconds. It's really, really fast. You can create multiple presets really, really easily. You have reverse. You can have an envelope here. So you can shape the sound quite a bit. Now, very quickly, I want to show you how I use Hertz drums to do drum replacement and how I do it in Cubase. Now, as you can see, I have my Hertz drums here, and these are my drums from an acoustic drum kit. So I'm going to mute Hertz drums, and then I'm going to introduce them so that you can hear the difference. So as you can see, these drums on their own, the acoustic ones, will never have a chance in this mix unless you really go deep and start sound designing the drums and mixing them, which is loads of fun, but you need to have some serious skills in order to do this. And sometimes you don't have the time to do this. Sometimes there are really tight deadlines. So what I do in this case, let me show you how I create this. As you can see, I have replaced the kick drum and snare here, and let me show you how I do it, right? So I'm going to create a new version, and let's take the kick drum, for example. What I do is I go here to my kick drum, and I go to my hit points. Then what I'm doing is I'm going to edit hit points, and as you can see, I can change the threshold. I want to make sure that every kick drum hit is selected and it has a hit point. Now, what I do is I go ahead and create MIDI notes. Now, here's what I choose to do most of the times. When I want a really consistent sound, I go for fixed velocity. I go for 100. For pitch, for a kick drum, I know that it's going to be on C1 because I'm using GM mapping, and I'm going to select destination, first selected track, which is my Hertz drums. So I do this, and boom! Now I have my kick drum right here. So now if I play it, so basically it's triggering the Hertz drums right now. The next element that I usually replace is the snare, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing. Going to go to hit points. I think that this looks absolutely fine. And I'm going to create MIDI notes. In this case, because it's a snare, I'm going to select D1 because that's where snares live. If you don't know about GM protocol, check out my video that I've done on how to play drums on a keyboard, and everything will be super clear. So I'm going to have fixed velocity there. Sometimes with the snare, I tend to go for a normal dynamic velocity, but in this case, I want a really consistent, powerful sound. So I'm going to go like this, and now I have both elements on Hertz drums. Now, the other thing that I wanted to show you is what I talked about before. I can go to my snare, for example, here, and as you can see, I have selected this one, and I can start switching the snares and see which one works better for my track. These drums are so good when it comes to drum replacement, and don't think they're going to be useful just for rock and metal and all these genres. These are very useful for pop. They're a great way to beef up your drums. And like I said, they have become my go-to drum replacement library just because the sound is so powerful straight away and they're so fast and easy to use. And when I'm doing drum replacement, the last thing I want to have is go through super complicated instrument that makes my life difficult. So I hope you enjoyed this video, I hope you enjoyed the drum playing, and I hope this gives you a good idea on how each pack sounds like and which one might be for you. Also, thanks so much to Hertz Drums for sponsoring this video and supporting the channel. Take good care of yourselves, my friends, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!